All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. You already know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell as we take a deep dive into the hippest laundromat in Brooklyn. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a few more spin-off versions of this one, but going to the laundromat in general is usually sketchy, right? There's sketchy people in there, bums, just people that look off, depending on what neighborhood you're in. But also, if you compare the United States American culture to European culture, in Europe, the laundry usually doesn't leave the house, which means there's far less public laundromats in Europe. I only passed by like one or two when I was in Spain. But anyway, let's take a deep dive in what's going on here.
This isn't your first laundromat to have a grand opening. But this isn't your average wash and dry. It's the Laundry Loft, located in Brooklyn. John and Heather Elder are the folks
Whoa, did you see that cake? That was wild.
behind it. They say it's a place that goes beyond clean clothes.
It's a place where something that you have to do as a chore can be something fun. Have a pickling class and things like that to try to bring people together.
You can still do your laundry here, but don't be surprised if you stay for coffee or conversation.
So they liberated the place. That's good. This is good. So this just makes you feel like, you know, your community isn't so bad after all if something like this creeps up in your neighborhood. Like there's hope for, you know, humanity.
With multiple flat screen TVs, vending machines, a coffee bar, and books and games, the spot brings something different to an area residents say it didn't previously have.
It's great to have a nice laundromat with new washers, dryers, and a cool place to come and just, you know, relax.
They also have toys for the kids to play with. It's nice.
I think it's fun for the kids to come here and they can hang out while the parents are over there.
Heather and John moved to New York from California in search of a new community.
Wow, from California to New York? I mean, that's like hard to debate because there's always the comparison to California and the East Coast,
Which they found online, along with some inspiration. From Aaron and John Carpenter, who live in Charleston, they turned a rundown laundromat into a community hub, a space that hosts birthdays, concerts, even comedy shows.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, it seemed like a cool spot to watch the games at.
On top of a place to clean clothes. They say the main idea is creating a third place.
A third place is a place that's not your house and it's not your work, but it's a place that you can go in between to be around other people, and cost does not prohibit anybody from being there.
Erin documented the transformation of their laundromat, Reynolds Laundry, on TikTok and Instagram. Many of her videos went viral, bringing in millions of views.
So confusing at first. Like, why a laundromat? Why are people responding so positively or just interacting with this so much? What is it about laundromats that has struck a chord with people?
Then she got a DM from Heather.
She had sent me a message and said, "We're building a laundromat in Brooklyn. Would you want to come design it?" And I was like,
But you know what though? That's good that they upgraded everything. Because now, being that everything is so expensive, everything is luxury now. And the reason why most apartments don't have washer and dryers in them, because they're an extra liability for the owner. The owner doesn't want to be responsible for if the dryer or, you know, burns the building down, or if the washer floods the unit. They don't want to be responsible. So if you want washer and dryer in your unit, you're going to have to go to a quote unquote luxury apartment complex. You know, there was places I lived in that didn't always have, you know, laundry in them. So just bringing your clothes to the laundry was just always a pain in the ass. Just putting everything in a car and driving to the nearest laundromat, it was always a pain in the ass. But if you live close to a laundromat like this, I probably wouldn't even mind.
like, pinch me, this is insane. Of course I want to design a laundromat in Brooklyn.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is karma.
And then the partnership was born.
So right now we're walking into the Laundry Loft. I would love to know just the design inspiration, how you came up with the layout.
Yeah. So when we came in, it was an empty shell, so we kind of wanted to imagine, my favorite thing is seating in a cafe or wherever I'm going.
And I see tech is infused in.
I knew it. Of course, it's going to be tap, Apple Pay only. Because people are doing away with coins. Even your sketchy laundromats in the bad neighborhoods got rid of the coins. They went to the pay card, to where you add money on a card, or they just put this in there. just tap. It's easier. That way you don't have to worry about collecting all that change and getting robbed and all that shit. So that's good.
In this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't need any cash, no more coins like the old days in laundromat, so it's all pay with your card.
So these used to be concrete posts, and we had to kind of work around them, and we wanted to get as many tables as we could. And so we ended up being able to build around these concrete posts, and now they're kind of an integral part of the whole flow of being able to put your clothes down here, rest, put your coffee cup.
One thing that both couples have been mindful of are the harms of gentrification.
What are you hoping to learn about the community and how you wrestle with coming into a community, creating a space for them and welcoming them in and not necessarily turning them away?
Obviously, when you come into a neighborhood that you don't live in, you have to learn about it, and that was our goal coming in, was getting to know the people who are already there.
That meant keeping on the same general manager who's helped run the laundromat for 16.
I can't get over those green dryers. They just look like they're straight out of the 70s. Because most of the laundromats I used to go to 20 years ago, they still had the same washers and dryers from like 30, 40 years ago. So, but those old dryers from back in the 70s and beyond, those dryers get pretty hot, hotter than the oven. I'm like, my clothes were always shrinking. So I'm like, I can't even use these dryers because they work too good. So now that everything is energy compliant now, these new dryers don't even get as hot. And it's the same with the HVAC furnaces. The air coming out the vents don't even get as hot. So it's interesting. But everybody seems like a happy camper. Flat screen TVs and a laundromat, almost unheard of. So the thing is, when you come into a neighborhood that you never lived into, at least the owners seem like they're, they care about the community. They're people persons, and they're very interested of the locals that come in. So that'll even make the relationship and the bond better.
15 years and keeping the prices the same.
That was the biggest concern, is when you're coming in and changing something, you don't want to discourage anyone who would normally come from coming. You want to keep those same people coming and make it better for them.
I actually would like to think about it a little bit differently, that they are inviting us into their community. So we built something that we felt like the community needed. We don't want to walk into this just assuming we will be accepted because we've built something that they need. We really want to feel like we have been invited into their world.
And they certainly have.
Being part of a community and welcomed by the community is something we had hoped for, but the feeling of how welcome.
Everybody's having a good time, even grandma in the back. That's cool. We got, cosplay going on. Next thing you know, they're going to open a laundromat based on anime, on Dragon Ball Z and everything. So this is cool. Looks like they have their own barista too. All right.
We are is pretty special.
Marquise Francis, NBC News.
Yeah, we definitely need something like this in, Oakland, San Francisco, even Berkeley, all the liberated areas. But anyway, this is cool. So the goal is, if you want your business to be successful, especially if you're coming into somebody else's community, or, New York is pretty much everybody. So the goal is to get to know everybody, see if it'll fulfill their needs, and let's just have a good old time. Life is too short to be tripping. Good for them. I wish their business a success. This is Captain Fail. I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.